Today on Larry King Now, Grammy and Academy Award-winning singer Melissa Etheridge on her new album, This Is Me.
At its very center, its yummy center, this is me. And it's me kind of country, kind of rock. I even have hip-hop and R&B, yet it all flows together.
On the Supreme Court decision on same-sex marriage.
I think it's us as America, we grew up. We realized that our Constitution was built to hold just this sort of thing.
Plus,
cannabis in the states that it has been legalized medicinally, the deaths, the accidental deaths from pharmaceuticals have gone down. So it's good for us.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. My guest today, one of the most iconic musical artists of her generation, a Grammy and an Academy Award-winning singer and songwriter. Melissa Etheridge has one of the most recognizable voices in the business. Her new self-released album, This Is Me, is available now on iTunes. Now, I don't understand something. This is me, but it's M.E. What does that mean?
Larry, it's my initials, Melissa Etheridge.
But we say this is me.
This is me. It's kind of a play on...
It's kind of hip.
It's kind of hip, you know.
But this is your album on your own, right? This is not a company album.
Yeah,
Explain.
I mean, well, I'm sure you've been aware in the last few years the music business is, the recording business, the record industry, it's unbelievable how far down it's gotten, and there's just been a real panic. And I realized that things were downsizing so quickly that my work would likely be lost in it. You know, they were still interested, but I figured out with a new manager, I really cleared house last year, had a new manager, that I can make it work. I can be an artist that can be independent. I can make a distribution deal with one company and then go to the social media and go straight to my fans, and I can sell. And this week we were 21 on the charts.
More work, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's work. It's a different business model. There's not enough money. There's not as much money up front, but we make it work and created it, and I've loved it. I've loved being in charge of it, involved in it, in control of it.
Do you still though have to tour?
That's the way I reach people, and the touring industry is still very much alive. The recording industry, not so much. The touring industry.
Could an up-and-coming artist do this?
I don't know. Possibly. I don't know.
Harder though. Wouldn't
it would be harder because you'd be starting from zero. I've certainly have had 25 years already.
Do labels, managers suppress creativity sometimes?
I did not ever experience that. I don't know if others did, but I did not experience that.
What about you? You conform to musical trends, or have you always been you?
I've always been. I mean, it started in '88 when it was all guns and hair and all the heavy metal bands, and people looked at me and said, "As a girl with an acoustic guitar, she must be folk." And it took me forever. It took till the mid-'90s. And I missed that grunge thing. I wasn't quite grunge. I wasn't even alternative, even though that's when I came out as a lesbian, and how alternative can you get? I was still sort of awkwardly mainstream, but not. And I've always kind of been outside of the box.
You were one of the first come-outers, weren't you?
I was. Yes.
What made you do that? So many people suppressed it.
I was out to my family. I was out to all my friends, and my social circle was one of just outness. I didn't have that closeted thing, only with the press. So when I would do interviews, and it was don't ask, don't tell in the press.
Yeah.
And so it was finally I just got up at the Triangle Ball at Clinton's inauguration and said, I'm a lesbian.
And then what? Anything happened?
And then they started asking. Then I talked about being a lesbian for years.
With this album, you collaborated with other musicians, right? Is that new for you?
Well, I've always had very strong musicians on my album. I've collaborated, even writing a little bit. But this is the first time, because of the new business model, not so much money up front, you go in and you give a little back end on a song, And that way you're able to go into these studios, which are now much smaller because of technology, and you can create these amazing pieces of work. And so at its very center, at its yummy center, this is me. And it's me kind of country, kind of rock. I even have hip hop and R&B. Yet it all flows together.
Did you write all the songs?
Yeah, I did. I wrote.
Have you always written your own work?
I have.
You don't write? You don't cover other artists?
Well, I do, like live when I'm having fun.
Yeah.
No, I feel this is my musical journey, and there's a, you know, everyone's pretty aware there's some autobiographical, you know, content to it.
What Melissa, was your break? How did we get to know you?
That's funny. It was different stages. My first, I mean, you can go back all the way till when I got out here in, you know, California. And was it when my manager first saw me, or when Chris Blackwell saw me in 1988, or when I was on the Grammys in 1988, or was it?
What was your first hit?
That was Bring Me Some Water. It was a rock and roll hit. But it wasn't like a big hit until the 90s.
Did you always play guitar too?
Yeah.
Always do both?
Yeah.
Did you get labeled at all? Did you think country?
It's funny, you'll find people that still say, "Is that country artist?"
Yeah.
And I got a lot of folk, and although I don't, I guess because, you know, it's an acoustic guitar, but I got a lot of folk. But mostly now people pretty much say rock and roll.
When you tour, is it still the same kick to go out on stage?
It is the same kick. When I can walk out on a stage and have people applaud and scream and holler before I've even sung a note, that's what I used to dream about back in the bars when there were 5 people, you know, playing pool and they were louder than me. You know, that's what I dreamed of.
At the Ramada Inn.
Absolutely, you know it. I was there. Absolutely, but that's what I dreamed of, and there it is.
Coming up, Melissa will respond to the Supreme Court's decision or cop-out on gay marriage, and she'll tell us about her recent trip to the White House. We'll be right back. We're back with Melissa Etheridge, the new album, This Is Me, M.E. The initials, covers all bases,
yes.
as the Supreme Court did in covering all bases. By refusing to hear the question of gay marriage, they pretty much upheld all the decisions made by all the judges that had thrown out all the anti-gay marriage measures. Does this mean it's on the way?
I think it does. I think it has been such a wave starting 20 years ago of, I mean, seriously, 20 years ago, if you'd have said, now, do you think you're going to be married with kids and, you know, talking about it on daytime TV and everybody, that it's, I think it's us as America, we grew up. We realized that our Constitution was built to hold just this sort of thing, that even the unthinkable that they couldn't even think of.
Were you surprised that the court, rather than just affirming or confirming, just let those rulings stand?
No, I'm not surprised, because they've been making their choices, and they're very, very particular about which ones they make, and you know that they're considerate of every law and how it is, and they know what the best move is to do. They see it coming. They see it, and they know, look, you states, you got to start taking care of it yourself. This is something that we're all coming to, and then I think in our future there will be finally the federal law that just makes it all.
Will we see a gay president? You think?
Sure. There's a lot, you know, I think we'll see a time, because I've already seen a time where gays and lesbians can run for public office, and they're judged on their character. And that's what I see, is that America is learning to judge a person on the content of their character.
Were you surprised that the gay thing, the gay acceptance, happened so quick as compared to the civil rights? It was like you looked up and it was here.
It was when you know, Bush basically won his election because he was against gay marriage. To just boom, we're not even, you know, 15 years later, we are talking. Yes, we are seeing it roll out like
had to be media and education and
and people coming out. That's what happened. Is the people got the courage to come out. They became your neighbors and the people that you worked with, and teachers at school that people love. You see these stories of people coming to the rescue, people that have been fired because of their, it's I love where we're
Are you surprised that some people still stay in the closet? I mean, now you would think, why not? What?
Because it's still very much ingrained into our society that man and woman is correct. This is what we see on television. This is what we see, in books and magazines. That's the right thing. So, when you do realize that your preference of what you're made up, it might be different than that. Yeah, it's still a very deep personal journey.
What was marriage like?
What is marriage like?
What was it like to get married?
That probably was, it was not only just a personal, special moment for me, but we went into the Santa Barbara County Courthouse, which I don't know if you've ever been in. It's beautiful.
I've never been there.
And we walked in, and we went up to the marriage license.
You've been with her a long time.
Yeah, so she's been my friend for a long time. We were together for 4 years before we got married. And it was just so beautiful to walk in, to put your hand up, do the whole yep, and I haven't been married before, and all the things you got to do, and it be just normal and beautiful and recognized. It does mean a lot to my family, to my kids.
Now you have children.
Yes, 4.
How did that come about?
It was not easy. For 4 that I know of, I don't quite know how to. I was a gay rock star. I really didn't know I was going to have children, but I ended up with 4. And none of them are biologically related to me, yet they are all 4 so deeply my children. I have 2 by one relationship and 2 by another marriage, and it's the greatest lesson I've ever had in life.
They all came to your wedding, right?
Oh, and they were all beautiful. My eldest son was my best man, and the maid of honor was our daughter, and then the ring bearer and the flower.
How did the kids handle all this?
Handle all what?
All of this.
All of just
this coming of age of their mother and mother.
You know what? They grew with it being not different. I remember when Proposition 8 came out, and my daughter, my oldest, she was about 12 years old, and she just started understanding that there are people who might think that this family is not real, or that it's. I actually remember looking at my daughter because she was like, I don't understand. I said, well, they think that me raising you is bad for you, and she just thought that was the funniest thing on earth. That how could someone think that this ridiculous thought? You
were in the White House recently, right?
Yes.
What prompted that?
They invited me to do a Women of Soul night. Now, when you get invited by the first president and the first lady and the president, Michelle Obama, who is
great,
is just it. And I was invited to sing with Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle. It was one of my favorite things I've done. I'm like, count me in. I sang a Gladys Knight song, but the thing is, the first couple is literally closer than you are to me right now. It's pretty intimidating.
Were you okay, or were you nervous? Were you?
I was nervous, but I've done this for a while now, and I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, they're a good audience, aren't they?
They really are. It's an amazing audience.
How do you rate them as a president?
It can't be easy to be president. It can't be easy.
Why would anyone want it?
Why would anybody want this? As a president, I think he's doing okay. He's doing okay.
Disappointing any?
No,
he was
because
slow on gay marriage.
Yes, he was. Yet he was there. Yet he did move it. In that way, because politics is just about this side and that side, and where you're going to land, and you got to wait till public opinion gets up there, and then the ones that are going to make history really wait until it's okay with history for you to do it.
Coming up, Melissa Etheridge will explain why she accepted an invitation to play music on Fox News with Mike Huckabee and her fight to legalize marijuana. Stay with us. We're back with Melissa Etheridge. Her new album is This Is Me, and it's already climbing the list, and we congratulate you on that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you play music on Fox News with Mike Huckabee. I know Mike a long time. and he is as anti-gay as you could be.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a hip guy, loves music, and
yeah.
But in the gay issue, he's
bang. Yep.
Why'd you do that?
If I am in this world asking people to maybe think a little differently about their thoughts about sexuality or cannabis or anything that is out of the social norm, if I'm asking for understanding about this, then I better be understanding about everyone else's choices. The way this country, and I no matter where I go in the world, I talk about how amazing America is. The way our Constitution set us up for this freedom is not easy. And we are leading the world in showing how to get along with diversity, because that's where we're all headed. We have to get along.
How were you invited on?
He asked. There's
music, right?
Yeah, there's a thing that goes out to all outlets. Melissa Etheridge has got an album out. Would love to come talk to you. So when it came back, Huckabee, I said, really? He said, yeah. He's a musician. He's going to play the bass with you. And the song that I sang is, you can't get more about tolerance in this song. It's a little bit of me. There's a little bit of me and a little bit of you. The world goes round and round and round. Everybody walks on common ground. The end of the song, after he plays it with me, he looks at the camera and he says, now, if you don't feel good after that song, there's something wrong with you. Now, you know his issues, where he's coming from, and a woman that you know where I'm coming from. Everybody knows when they see me, everything that comes with me. To stand there and say that there's some common ground in this, we got to move forward. We can't.
Did you talk to him about it at all?
Not about gay marriage, no. We talked about what we had in common.
Which is music.
Which is music, and my mother was from Arkansas. We talked about smack over Arkansas. Yeah.
Well, why not?
Why not? And people.
Did your fans bug you at all?
Yeah. Some of them had a really hard time with it and couldn't understand. And all I can say is, it is better for us to always choose love than hate, just to push someone away.
You beat breast cancer, right?
Yes, sir.
And did marijuana help?
I believe so.
In what, reducing pain?
Oh, yeah, reducing pain, getting the nausea away, getting my appetite back, and keeping me from going absolutely insane.
Did you have a mastectomy?
No, I only had a lumpectomy. I had 2 surgeries, and it was just a lumpectomy. Yeah.
Had you previously been favoring the legalization of marijuana? Had you been a supporter prior to getting the disease? Kind of socially. I mean, I'm a rock star, and it was around. I did not feel political about it. It was sort of that thing that everyone did that nobody talked about. How did you come to take it then? I mean,
when I was diagnosed, actually David Crosby called me up and he said, honey, you all my friends tell me this is the only way to get through chemo. You have to do medicinal marijuana. I said, all right.
And it helped?
Yes, absolutely.
You think it should be legal across the board?
Absolutely. I think it could help our society incredibly. I think there's so many medical, emotional, when you see where we might be headed with our prescription medications, and to understand that cannabis, in the states that it has been legalized medicinally, the accidental deaths from pharmaceuticals have gone down. So it's good for us, and it's going to be good for us.
Where did you learn to play guitar?
Where? In Leavenworth, Kansas, from this great guy, Don Raymond, at the Tune Shop in Leavenworth, Kansas.
Did you play music in high school? I mean, knew you wanted to be a singer? Did you know it?
Yes, it was the only thing that really ever drove me.
What did something inspire you? The radio?
The radio. It was hearing the Beatles. I was 4 years old. I Want to Hold Your Hand is playing, and yeah, it was the Beatles, definitely.
What was your first paying gig?
I played for about, let's see, I sang 3 songs for the Parents Without Partners dance at the Knights of Columbus with Chuck Hammersmith and the Wranglers, Leavenworth, Kansas.
What made it for you? What was your...
To have anyone look at me and enjoy what I'm doing and applaud. it was just as simple as that. To bring people joy, to have them enjoy a song that I sing is worth everything.
What was your first hit?
Well, Bring Me Some Water, but Come to My Window is probably what the big hit that everybody knows me for.
When you had that, your life transforms, right?
Well, mine, fortunately, my journey was a slow one. You know, from the first record was Bring Me Some Water.
You weren't an overnight hit.
Yeah, no, not at all. And it took a few years. So I had some, and I was older. I didn't make my first record till I was 27. So it wasn't until my mid-30s. So I was a little smarter than, I don't know how they do it nowadays, these young
Next, who are some up-and-coming musicians that have impressed Melissa? And we'll play a little favorite game of If You Only Knew. Don't go away. Melissa Etheridge's new album, This Is Me. The new album features songs Take My Number and Monster. Monster?
Monster. That's a great song.
What's that about?
It's actually about self-esteem, and even though people think you're different, that you're a monster full of desire, full of love, the one that everyone's afraid of.
Who are the new artists you like today?
You know, I am loving that even with all the technology, you can still hear the amazing vocalists. There's Sia, one of my favorites. There's also the Sam Smith. He's all over the charts right now. They're just these amazing singers that have this technical music around them, but you can still you want to be in the shower when they're singing.
Do you like all forms of music?
I do,
Yeah.
because I think all forms of music has a truth in it, and that's
Like
what I
hip-hop?
love. Yeah, if there's a place of musicality and creativity in it, absolutely.
We play a little game of If You Only Knew. I just throw some questions
Oh
at
boy,
you.
okay.
Remember the first person you kissed?
Mike Strange.
Mike Strange.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Kindergarten. I think I was about
Didn't
5
know
years
you were
old.
lesbian then. Yeah.
No.
Whatever happened to Mike Strange?
You know, it's funny because he was kind of maybe going to be my boyfriend in junior high.
Really?
And then it didn't work out. We were best friends, and he's a sweetheart.
Is it? You know what happened to him?
Yeah, I taught him how to play bass, and on the weekends he plays bass in Kansas City.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who was your celebrity crush as a kid?
Christy McNichol.
Favorite song of yours?
Mine? Oh, Monster right now. Yeah.
Favorite song of all time?
Jungle Land, Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce, what is special about him?
It's his lyrics are like John Steinbeck. His emotion and performance is Elvis with Bob Dylan. And
he does 3 hours.
And he does 3 hours, and he loves rock and roll. He just understands the spirit of rock and roll.
Favorite album?
Wow, so many going through. Now you got me on Bruce. Now I'm like Born to Run. Okay, favorite album, Born to Run.
Which was a bigger deal, winning a Grammy or winning an Oscar?
Okay, as much as I love the Grammys, being at the Oscars is
What'd
like.
you win it for?
I won it for An Inconvenient Truth, for the documentary for I Need to Wake Up.
If you didn't have this job, what would you be? What would you do?
Well, if I couldn't do music, because
Yeah.
I think if I wasn't famous, I would still be doing music. But if I couldn't do music, I would probably be a teacher. I like to be in front of a classroom.
Favorite instrument besides the guitar?
Piano.
What's the last album you bought?
Oh, wow. Sia, but I forget the name of it.
What were you listening to in the car these days?
Oh, my album, actually, because I'm getting ready to go on tour. I have to learn my songs.
Do you have a favorite city to perform in?
Amsterdam.
Why?
They get
They're
me.
so hip.
They sing every word. They scream. We bring the house down every time I play there. If you want to see me, the best I can ever be, it's in Amsterdam.
Most liberal city in the world.
Yes, I'm all for it.
Best venue to perform in?
Oh, that's a good one. Madison Square Garden, the big room.
If you would degrade the state of the music industry, what would it be today and why?
Music industry. I'd give it a C+, because I think its self-esteem needs to get up. It needs to understand that it's just going through a change, and pretty soon it's going to hit its stride again, and to understand that people love music. That's not going away ever.
Something most people don't know about you.
I like to do puzzles. Very rock and roll. I like to do puzzles a lot.
Crossword puzzles?
Yes. No, puzzles, jigsaw.
Jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah.
We have a couple of social media questions for you. Rasta Sneaker Geek on Twitter. Any parenting advice?
Oh, don't have them. No, that's not good. No, I love my children. You know what? Love them, love them. And in the most difficult times, understand that they are here for their own experience in life. And life is about experiences. It's not supposed to be perfect. They're going to fall. They're going to get hurt. They're going to cry. They're not going to understand things. But just love yourself and be the best you can be, and that will be good for them.
Want to be a grandparent?
Not for a while. Not for a while.
Maggie on Twitter, has working on your new album, This Is Me, made you eager to try other collaborative works, and if so, with whom?
Yes, yes, and yes. Just a couple days ago, I sang with Queen Latifah on her show. We did a Fleetwood Mac song, and it was so much fun. And it's like any genre, anything, just come knock on my door, I'll sing with you. I love playing in other people's sandboxes.
So, with all this success you've had and coming out and being in controversial areas and all the like,
Yeah.
Are you at peace? Are you happy? Where are you right now?
Yes, I'm very happy. I'm very happy because I don't have secrets, because I'm not holding on to anything. It's right out there. I'm willing to, if you speak truthfully all day long, pretty soon you just start running clean. So I would recommend it for anyone.
There's that great line, I never lie because then I don't have to remember it.
I know, oh, absolutely. It's so, you don't have to worry.
You're in a business where lies occur.
Many times, yes. Yes, they do. Well, mostly people lie to themselves, and I'm just not going to do that.
You still get a kick out of singing, still get a kick out of playing, still get a kick out of recording.
Every night, every day.
Get a kick out of parenting.
Love it.
What bothers you the most?
Oh, it bothers me when when I see suffering because people sell themselves short. They don't understand how amazing that their spirit is or their bodies. That depresses me.
Thank you, dear.
All right.
I want to thank my guest, Melissa Etheridge. Make sure to go buy or download her album, This Is Me, M.E. Go out now. And remember, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. I'll see you next time.